It's interesting when you're trying to talk on a camera, the amount of people that look at you strange.
Welcome to Leeds. You might want to go and make yourself a coffee. This is going to be a long episode. While we're in the station, did you know that the world's first steam locomotive was made in Leeds? There is some street art by the renowned artist Wanksy. For all you train buffs, Leeds has the oldest running commercial railway in the world. The Middleton Railway is the oldest continuously working public railway in the world. It originally opened in 1758 to move coal from the nearby quarries. Another tidbit, the board game Cluedo was invented in Leeds.
I've come to Leeds today to have a look at some watches. I wanted to have a look at Rolex and I went to Preston's. They are the only Rolex authorized dealer in Leeds. Fantastic experience. I didn't have an appointment. The purpose of the visit was to clarify whether I wanted a date just 41 or a date just 36. I tried them both on. The lady was very accommodating, and I finished up on realizing that 36 was going to be too small. My long-term plan is to get a 41 green dial, smooth bezel on Jubilee, would you believe? Anyway, that's Brenny's plan for Rolex. If you're in Leeds, definitely pop in to Preston's. They're in the centre of town in a shopping centre that I've forgotten the name of.
Even if you're not a fan of Rolex watches, I was taken aback by how stunning this building is. It was redesigned in 2019 and is inspired by late 20th century Scandinavian design with a truly organic feel. Originally founded in 1869, the Preston story is as relevant today as it has been over the decades, and today our 4 unique and distinctive showrooms all embody our values, essence, and our unparalleled passion perfectly. I moved my business to Preston's in early 2024. I had one too many bad experiences with other Rolex ADs. Preston's has 4 stores in the United Kingdom, and my base store is Preston's of Wimslow in Cheshire. If you're looking to purchase a Rolex from an authorized dealer, you might want to pop into Preston's and express an interest in one of these 3 watches. The Explorer 36, the Air King, and the Explorer 40 are available to first-time buyers with a short wait list and no purchase history. I do actually like the Rolex Explorer, I'm just not a fan of the clasp. Let's do some window browsing, some two-tone submariners. Don't be fooled by the retail prices, you have to pop in and express an interest. And yes, with gold prices soaring, some of these watches will be available with a short wait. This is my idea of heaven, Yachtmaster heaven. I've died and gone to Yachtmaster heaven. Guys, you know I'm a big fan of Yachtmasters, and you've got to try one on, wear one, and then you will be a fan. Not everybody's cup of tea, two tones, but once you've tried it, you'll never go back. I'm going to show you a lot more Rolexes, and what I'm not going to do is keep parroting on about Rolex after Rolex after Rolex. What I will say is I don't think I've seen a cleaner or a more well presented window display on my travels. The shop outside and inside is immaculately clean and stunning. The attention to detail in this AD, I honestly have never seen it before. I know it's a new store, but it has been open 5 years. To look this good 5 years later, it doesn't happen by accident, guys. If you're interested in a Datejust 41 and you express an interest in a smooth bezel with a Jubilee or Oyster bracelet, your chances are greatly improved and the wait lists are currently a lot shorter. If you are considering a two-tone Rolex, definitely worth getting one before January 2025. With gold prices now soaring, I expect quite a big increase in Rolex MSRP.
And you know what I always say? If you want to get yourself a Rolex, get your ass to Preston's. I also went to Jaeger-LeCoultre.
Right, you watch nonsense. I don't care how you pronounce Jaeger-LeCoultre properly. I just know I like the bloody watch. I've been interested in this watch for some time, but I've never tried one on. Initially, I popped in to try on the single reverso, the polo reverso as I call it. If you play polo and you don't want to damage your watch, you would wear a reverso and you would swap it over so that the watch case was protected.
And I had a look at some of their new reverso watches. The plain back reverso just felt too thin on the wrist. I just wasn't impressed with the depth of the watch. It just didn't feel right. Very, very light. And then I went on to the full reverso and it had a blue dial on one side with a white dial on the other. Oh, what a watch on a blue strap.
This watch is the Reverso Tribute Duo Face Small Seconds, reference number Q3988482, MSRP £12,200. For those of you in the know, you'll know that this is the same watch. That's why it's called a reverso. You just flick it over and you have a white dial, a completely different watch. Two watches in one. The blue dial is a large clock with a small seconds, and the white dial is a slightly smaller clock with a day and night function. I don't know how you would use it, however, I just think it's a nice touch. If you collect watches, you'll know exactly what I'm thinking. I was just taken back by how glorious this watch is in person. The vividness of the blue dial is just... Honestly, guys, I was so close to pulling the trigger on this watch. The only thing that was holding me back was it was my first time trying the watch on, and I really don't know enough about the brand to just buy a £12,500 watch on a whim. The white dial is just stunning. The case is stunning. Everything about the watch is stunning. And for those of you who've never seen the watch before, you're going to think, is Brenny on crack?
Bit steep on the price though, £12,200. You know, not for the faint-hearted, that kind of money. Is it worth it? Honestly, Jaeger-LeCoultre, probably. What was interesting is if you sign up through the boutique for their mailing list, you can get 8 years warranty on the watch with a free service. That means you can get the watch serviced after 8 years and effectively get a 16-year lifespan on your watch for free. Just think about that. You buy a watch for £12,200, you wear it for 8 years straight, and you, just before the 8 years end, you put the watch in for a service and you're sorted. Is it worth it? Hell yeah. Now apparently a polish isn't included on the service, guys. So if you want a polish, that is another £300 on top. But if you're not paying for the service, why not? Also went to the Omega boutique to see the first watch in space again, and it turns out they haven't got one.
I popped into this store and I spoke to the manager, who was extremely helpful, extremely welcoming. They had pretty much every Omega you could ask for. They have the 60th anniversary available, and they also had the white Speedy. I have tried it on before, so I didn't ask to try it on. However, they don't have one available to purchase, would you believe? An Omega AD in the heart of Liverpool, with probably a massive overhead, doesn't have a white Speedmaster Sapphire Sandwich available to sell. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I can see that a Paris edition poo box in the back that nobody ever wanted.
They haven't got the first watch in space. Now, I don't know if I heard him right, but they've either just had one or they've had none. I'm going with they've had none. This is an Omega boutique in the center of Leeds with massive overheads. A new watch was launched 3 weeks ago, and they've not received hardly any. And they've got a list of customers waiting for that watch. I can hear the frustration on the guy's voice, and he may or may not have agreed with me on why I am so annoyed with Omega. Just look at the 60th anniversary edition, how hard that was to get. Now he's got one in the window. Now, I'm going to say this wrong. He has a Paul Potts or a Paul Plot, a summer blue, a watch that has only just come into stock.
This is typical of Omega. He waits almost 18 months for his first delivery, and he has a customer waiting, and the customer purchased it, but Omega sent him two. No stock of this watch for 18 months. Never received a single one, and now he has two, and nobody wants the second one because it's just taken too long for Omega to send it to their authorized dealers. This is an Omega boutique in the heart of Liverpool, and they had to wait 18 months to receive a bloody watch. Probably the ugliest Omega ever made. I get that it's function over form. If you want to move the bezel, you push the button on the top right. Be careful, if you push it twice, the watch will implode.
The Omega Summer Blue range launched June of 2023, I believe, and he's only just received the watch. That's shocking, really, but he got two of them, and he had a customer for the first one, a very patient customer, but he doesn't have a customer for the second one. So if you're interested in that watch, it's the Omega boutique in central Leeds. Covered Jaeger-LeCoultre, covered Omega, and covered Rolex. Now I'm going to go and find a watch. It's a gift for somebody, and I'm going to be looking at a Seiko and a Gshock. So I'm now heading back into Leeds after having some lunch at a fantastic Italian restaurant.
I found this restaurant through a Google search. I typed in best Italian restaurant in Leeds, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I ordered the short rib of beef ragu and a make your own pizza. Went for pepperoni. And all I can say is it was delicious.
Wow, this is really tasty.
I had to silence the background music for copyright reasons, and some twat on the other table was talking as loud as he possibly could.
This is absolutely delicious.
When I go for an Italian meal, I always have two main courses. A full pizza with a side order of spag bowl. And I can assure you I was in Italian heaven at Living Italy.
I had their spaghetti bolognese, well, their version of spaghetti bolognese, and I had a pepperoni pizza. Absolutely delicious. I've been looking at the new G-Shocks. They've made a G-Shock with a steel case, steel bracelet, and they're about, I think, 290 quid, and you can get discount on those watches. So I'm looking at adding one of them to the collection.
This is H. Samuel in the heart of Leeds. They sell G-Shocks, Casios, and they sell Seikos. This is the new 2100 Casio G-Shock all metal watch. A very interesting looking watch. I was quite taken aback by how nice the watch is in person. They've made the watch in 5 colorways, and this store only had 2. But luckily for me, they had the baby blue, which was the one I wanted in the first place. This new range of 2100s comes in 5 colors: the silver, the baby blue, a dark blue, an orange, and a green. I would actually like to see the green because I'm also interested in acquiring one of them, but the baby blue was my first pick, and spoiler alert, I purchased it. If you're buying a watch like this, you've got to buy savvy. Do your research. I double checked online and I found a company that was selling this new watch cheaper. As long as it is a UK domain name and you can show the exact same watch in the exact same color at a reduced price, any authorized dealer will match that price. So not only did I buy a new edition, a new watch, I got discount on the watch. Buy smart, guys, and learn from other people's mistakes. I'll be showing the watch on an upcoming video, and I'm looking forward to learning how the watch works. It's got quite a few functions, and it has 2 time zones from what I can tell. This other watch popped up and I really liked it. I put it on the wrist. It was extremely comfortable, and with price matching, I could have got it for £140. That's the one on the rubber strap.
And I'm also trying to get a hold of a Seiko Samurai today.
Popped into Fraser Hart and the guy was very helpful. I got to look at a Seiko Samurai and I got to look at the classic Seiko Turtle. Back to the Samurai, it absolutely looks stunning on camera, but in reality it is garbage. It couldn't be any uglier if it tried. The watch is hideous, and even now on camera you guys are thinking, what's Brenny talking about? The watch is gorgeous. Trust me, guys. I was playing back the video while the guy was putting it back in the case, and I laughed to myself thinking, was that the same watch I was just looking at? Because surely not. This watch is gorgeous. So I had to go back for a second look, and trust me, the camera does lie. This watch in person is what I would like to class as a awful pig. think it's time for new carpets, guys. Definitely new carpets. Tip from Brenny, get new carpets. This next watch is what I call a turtle. And again, it's a nice watch if you're into it. I just didn't like the double bubble on the bezel, and it just didn't do it for me. But again, it's a GMT automatic wristwatch for, I believe, £369 before discount. This other watch caught my eye in the window, and in reality, I just looked at it and thought, ugh. I couldn't find one thing I liked about it, apart from the fact that it had a chrono function and it was a solar powered Seiko.
So that's a Gshock coming into the collection. So keep watching for those episodes. Yeah, I mean, so far the experience in Leeds has been very welcoming. People are quite nice in Leeds. Did you know that Charles Dickens came to Leeds once and he hated the place? Well, that was the feedback. He used very posh words to say it was a dump. So Charles Dickens doesn't like Leeds. It's unusual to come to a city in late October in England and it's not raining. Population of Leeds is just under 900,000. It's not too busy in the centre of town, but it is only a Tuesday. Anyway, I'm heading back into centre of Leeds after having some food at a fantastic Italian restaurant.
I took the opportunity to pop into IWC and I had a very good experience with a very bonny lass. She was a bonny lass and very welcoming, offered me a coffee, but I wasn't in the mood. I struggle with IWC, I really do, because I don't like the watches. I have tried and tried and tried. I look at them and I look at them and I feel nothing. They just don't do it for me. Whoever is designing these watches, you have there's something missing from IWC watches, and I know this is going to get me a lot of hate, but I just don't like them. I struggled and struggled and struggled. I walked around and walked around and walked around, and I finally hit on one that was just about bearable. I did tell the Bonnie girl that I didn't like it, and I was just picking the best out of a bad bunch. I really struggled with this watch to find anything about it that would make me want to pull the trigger on a watch that costs almost £5,000 and looks like this. I would rather sellotape a rock to my wrist than wear this god-awful watch. Who designed that crown? I mean, can you call it a design? Or no, lads, let's just stick the crown on the side of this watch and hope for the best. Another one of my bugbears is the date wheel doesn't match the colour of the dial. I did notice that Berries had quite a lot of the ADs under their belt. They don't have Rolex, but they do sell Rolex pre-owned, not certified pre-owned, their own pre-owned stock. They are, however, an authorized dealer for Patek Philippe watches, an absolutely fantastic brand. Just so you know, their Cubitus watches came in and sold like hotcakes. For all you naysayers out there, the Cubitus is a winner as far as Brenny is concerned. However, Brenny would never get offered a Cubitus. After some more research, I did realise that the case was too big for Brenny in the first place. Even if I did get offered the watch, I would sadly have to turn it down. I know, an Irish fella turning down a watch with that much equity in it, that can only be an Irish fella would do something that crazy. Another brand I've never heard of, yeah, Chopard. However, the chick at the back is fit as f. Cartier, guys. Cartier watches, they don't do it for me. They're just too dressy. One day, all you people that bought a Cartier de Santos are going to wake up and you're going to have a cold sweat on and you're going to realise that you bought yourself a shitbox. For the price point, I highly recommend Long G's. I still haven't found one that I really like, but I give this brand a thumbs up. If you're buying somebody a gift or you want to buy your wife a reasonably priced wristwatch, get her a Long G's. I'm struggling with Braemont. I want to like the brand, and the watches that I like, in my humble opinion, are about double the price they should be. And the new logo leaves a lot to be desired. I did ask if they had the new edition, and they didn't. Disberries has a pre-owned luxury wristwatch section, and some of the watches are quite reasonably priced. If you look at the Seamaster Diver 300, that is quite a nice watch, and again, in my opinion, very fairly priced considering it is a shop. The Milgauss caught my eye, but it didn't have a price on it. Also, the Yachtmaster caught my eye, but again, no price on it. I was filming this, but my eye had already been caught by a certain watch. Find of the day, guys. You see it? Did you miss it? We're going to go back to it. Here he comes. That's a Blue OUP 41 at 2024 for £6,795. When you consider that watch has a wait list of almost 2 years, I thought it was quite reasonably priced. So I popped in, spoke to the manager, had a look at the watch. We had a little tete-a-tete, and we fixed the price down to £6,500. If you've gotten this far and you're interested in purchasing the watch for £6,500, just pop in, tell them Brenny sent you, and show them this video. I have thoroughly looked over the watch and it has hardly got any wear on it. Just thought I'd show you this last bit of pointless footage, which shows that a lot of the luxury ADs are situated in the same area, literally back to back, stacked up on top of each other, a buffet of watches. Preston's, my highlight of the day, is a little bit further down the road in its own shopping centre. Definitely get your ass to Preston's if you want to get yourself a Rolex in 2023. Honourable mention, that was the most friendliest Omega AD I have ever been in. The manager in that AD is what I would like to call a class act. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.